Hey, what's up, guys? What is this? Oh, probably one of my favorite things in the world. Beer. And what book is this? $15. Hey, this is a pretty big book. Hardcover. Well, it's the book annex, right? The section of the Barnes and Noble. We have a lot of these kind of hardcover books. Lots of pictures, right? Coffee table size books. Usually dealing with all kinds of subjects. Really, really good buy. And Barnes and Noble, most of the books at this point are pretty abysmal. The military history section's decent. A lot of the UK magazines are decent. Some of the Americans, but there's always something worthwhile. In fact, there's always a bunch of decent, useful books here. James LaFond finds usually something in the book annex at Barnes and Noble that gives him lots of resources and inspiration. So that should say something in terms of the layout of the book. It goes pretty much by little intros here, by the regions. Obviously, I'm gonna cover not every single region, but I'm gonna focus on a country in particular. But I'm also gonna focus on some others, right? Uh, you know, and of course, also not just Europe, but the Middle East. Africa, Asia, America, North and South. And little different things here. I like the preface here. This is a master brewer of Guinness in Dublin. Look at that thing. I'm one of those. There's a lot of. There's not. I will say that in terms of my personal preference, I seem to like nearly every style of beer there is. Okay. Um, yeah, in terms of the original kind of beers. I mean, fruity American beers for the summer, maybe not. So, but I tend to like. There's not a beer style I don't really like. It may just be individual brewers I'm not fond of. But he makes a very good point here. Okay? As an adorer of great beers, I have found that experiencing great beers is more than just the beer itself. Okay, you have to have a great place, a bar where it just feels right. History laden pub, high end 5-star state of the art bar, street bar. Right? Then we need a great bartender, a bartender who knows how to craft and serve a beer so that it looks absolutely gorgeous in every way. Because it is with our eyes that we first savor our beer. That's a huge point. Okay? Only then do we take pleasure in our reward, when all the wonderful flavors and textures awaken our senses and bring to life the beer, a refreshing experience that enhances life's journey. Okay, like I said, it's more than just like I said, just I'm gonna drink some beers, man. It's like you can like, people do that all the time, but to really enjoy a good beer in the glass, okay, or to even to see it in the bottle with the different labels, the presentation of it, the textures of it. There's so much more than just drinking this liquid. And we got the introduction here. Of course, the guy here it gives a little summation of it. It talks about the ancient, in fact, the beer is the ancient beverage, right? Sumerians, the drinking by the pharaohs, all in the ancient world, right? It's been said that the brewing of beer is at least as old as baking of bread. What is beer, right? Beer is something that you get beer with agrarian civilizations, okay? The good and the bad, you can argue, is the liquid goddess, right? The slave drink of these agricultural civilizations. But even barbarians, the Germans, would cultivate just enough wheat to to make their beer. Okay, uh, it's just interesting. Of course, the history of it. Of course, going into today, you have the multinational corporations, like with the beers, InBev. I mean, it's funny. Every couple of years, these names all change. Of course, then they talk about the craft brewers. Okay, but enough of the intro. We know what beer is, right, guys? So this video will just be of uh, Ireland and the UK, right? Since they're in the similar region, and in many ways, to me, the beer is, as an American, that is sort of part of our culture. All right, so we're in Ireland, right? We got St. James Gate. Very interesting. There's Arthur Guinness. And of course, the interesting thing is that, of course, the relationship between Ireland and Obviously, this is Dublin. This is not the Ulster plantation of Northern Ireland. But obviously, that this beer became so popular in England and in the United Kingdom, or should I say Britain, right? The fact that this beer became so popular that they actually ended up like moving, right. It took the company and the public lot, the London Stock Exchange in 1886, and moved their headquarters to London. Became the richest man in Ireland. So it's interesting that the beer of the, let's be honest, the oppressed and hated and nearly holocausted many times over Irish became one of the most popular beers in Britain. That's very interesting if you look at the history and beautiful, beautiful. Look how beautiful that is. Now, in America, a lot of people don't like Guinness or the kind of this kind of stouts, these kind of beers that are like these nitro beers. I remember one girl, one woman I knew at work, was like, "Oh, I don't like it. It's like flat. I don't like it." Obviously, lager, okay, for good reason, has become the most dominant beer. But there's nothing like a good creamy, even from the cans, man. There's something about the Irish stout, the creaminess of it. They're not, they can be strong or not. There's just like a kind of, it really is distinctive. The dark color, the smell, the different tastes. And of course, it gives this extra stout. Right? You have foreign extra stout, and you have the draft one, the one with the widget. What's a widget? It's a fictional product. It doesn't exist. Well, actually, it does exist. It exists in these cans. When you open the top, it's like shh. Now you probably already know this, but like I said, I like stout. A lot of people don't like stout, but I do. These are great. The foreign extra stout's really nice. And apparently, interestingly enough, the extra stout is closer to the original beer. It's a little more carbonated, obviously, that Arthur Guinness made. So it's kind of interesting seeing this here. But man, look at that. Obviously, when you pour it, you gotta wait for it. I remember one of the bars at my old job in Queens. The bartender was this Irish woman, and she's like, "Oh, you gotta wait." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, love. I know." I know. And also, Guinness is good, but my favorite is Murphy's from Cork, right? And O'Hara's, and I gotta try O'Hara's. I don't think I ever tried O'Hara's, but Murphy's currently is, I like the flavor a little better than Guinness. It's a little more roasted, like smoky, and it has more of a chocolatey taste to it. But of course, dark chocolate, nothing so sweet. And man, it's just, Also, you had some other beers. Obviously, they didn't just make stout. Okay, it's always funny. James brought up a good point. When I was growing up, they had the potato famine, right, in Ireland, where it's like all the Irish did was grow potatoes. Okay, they didn't grow anything else but potatoes. Does that make any damn sense when you brew lots of beer and whiskey? Okay, the thing is that you had all those things taken from your country. By who? We know who. They just rounded out with like Killian's Irish Red. I remember that. That was a pretty good beer. But the king. Oh man, Murphy's. Am I gonna drink a beer on video? Yeah, beer porn. Oh, you degenerate. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Good lad. We got a Murphy's. Now we're going to have the widget, right? Alright, I got a good pint glass here. And I just, you pour it like this. I know you're supposed to angle the glass, but this is fine. It's fine. Oh, you're doing it wrong, mate. Oh, please. You're like, oh, it's going to go over the top. No. When you have a proper pint glass with these kind of widget UK Irish beers, they never overflow. Not like a lager. So you can see that it's just a beautiful. You see like this. Oh, I don't know how to describe it. And slowly it's coming up, and very creamy. Look at that, beautiful, beautiful thing. It's rising. You gotta wait. You gotta wait. Just like you gotta wait. You gotta wait. Oh, that's going up. Yeah. Now, yeah, Murphy's is not brewed in County Cork anymore. I think it's brewed in Wales. Yeah, yeah, whatever. So it's still my favorite stout, and it's relatively inexpensive, and also very low in alcohol. It's about 4%. Yeah, it's 4% alcohol, man. That's like a Jenny Light or something. Oh, we're getting there. Oh, we gotta wait. And there's the it looks like pancake batter a little bit, right? But what you're seeing, right, is the fermentation. You're seeing, how to take your barley and make it into something that lasts longer and tastes wonderful than just something more than just bread. All right, I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm just gonna stay in Ireland for now. So I'll make a separate video for their good buddies over the sea there. Oh, the United Kingdom. I mean, I heard. How long have they been calling it the United Kingdom? I think Britain does sound better. The UK does sound too much like the USA or the EU. But we'll do another vid separate on this because it deserves it. Because it is true, right? It is true that probably the least popular beer in America is British Ale. I'm a huge fan though. I like it a lot. But like I said, we'll stay in Ireland. This thing is ready now. All right, you see. Let's take a swig. Might be a little colder than someone in Ireland would like, but I still, in some ways, I am an American. Unfortunately, I have to admit. So I do like my beer a little colder, but the flavor is there, right? The smoky roasted flavor, and like I said, the very dark chocolatey flavor that you have. I mean, Guinness is great too. Guinness is a little smoother. This is a little rougher, but like I said, I prefer this one. And yes, they are all these beers. They all support the shit we don't like, all the parades aren't particularly fond of, and other things. But Murphy's. Yeah, let me have another sip. Oh, that's nice. It's nice. Especially after working a 12-hour shift, I'll tell you. Very tasty, very nice. And like I said, not a lot of alcohol, which is pretty good too. All right, I bid you adieu. Next stop, Britain.